let me introduce you to our next guest. His name is Hariharan
Ragothaman.
Ragothaman.
Hmm. Thank you.
We're going to call him Harry.
Yes.
Okay. Harry's a technologist. He's here, as he's not a frog. He's not part of JFrog, but he's here as a technologist with a keen interest in things. And I wanted to introduce him to you and give him a chance to talk a little bit about what he's really finding interesting here and, kinds of things he wanted to mention that he's here at swampUP. So first of all, Harry, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Talk to us about what you're doing here at swampUP.
So my first swampUP experience was in 2023 when it was hosted back in San Jose.
I remember we were there.
Yes, I think it was a complete pleasure. I really enjoyed it, and I had the opportunity to work with and interact with a lot of JFrog employees and to know more deep about JFrog products. And I always aspire to speak at JFrog. So this year actually I spoke at JFrog on one of the frameworks that I had developed. It was about optimizing infrastructure deployments and bringing in both accessibility, security, and speed to them, such that the overall time it takes to bring a service to production is rapidly reduced.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So you actually took the JFrog platform
Yes,
and developed sort of your own framework
that is correct.
that is improving security, quality, and
Accessibility.
accessibility.
Yes.
And you did that at your. We're not here talking about where you work or anything like that, but you did that at the place you were working, and
Yeah.
and like what I'm trying to say is you did it in a commercial setting. It wasn't just a science experiment.
Yeah. So I think in one of the previous places I'd worked at, we were trying to solve a problem where we were trying to unify different pipelines, software pipelines, because in general, what happens is when very large organizations, pipelines can get really fragmented. So unifying pipelines is very essential both for traceability and also cost. But at the same time, you should also ensure that security is not an afterthought.
Right.
So we wanted to ensure that, like, if you take a typical software infrastructure pipeline, you have the curation process, creation process, the build, deploy, and then the run. So when that happens, we wanted to sort of impregnate each of those boxes and ensure that security is embedded in each of those layers while unifying the various pipelines, and that was done in a very commercial setup. And then I decided to take it forward by also, and that was a time when all the AI,
It was just coming out.
all the AI stuff was just coming up, and so I decided to integrate NLP based frameworks into that architecture. So
Very cool.
by using JFrog X-Ray and JFrog Artifactory, that helped in optimizing the overall time it took to deploy infrastructure. So I realized that by inculcating AI frameworks into your DevSecOps pipelines, you not only make the whole pipeline safe and secure, but you also make it more accessible to not just engineers, but also people from other forms of interest. Because when you have an NLP framework up in front onto your service, all the requests can be in plain, simple English. So that probably sums it up and paints a picture.
Yeah, no, that and look, and the beautiful thing as we saw here at this year's swampUP.
Yeah.
Every day we're seeing more and more AI innovation, more and more AI capability.
True.
So, in essence, the framework is never done.
Correct. I think that's a great question. I think it's definitely an evolving architecture. In fact, the future directions that we want to take that framework is, for example, the current framework currently just focuses on ensuring that you export a software bill of materials and unify the various pipelines. To put it in very simple terms, software bill of materials is more about, like, imagine like a cake. A cake can have different layers. Each layer can have different ingredients, and each of those ingredients can be sourced from different places. So once we unified the pipelines and we were able to generate a software bill of materials, we kind of knew what our software contains. But then we can extend it to, like, potentially like salsa frameworks that can tell you like what it's made of, and we could also take it forward by ensuring that zero trust is embedded into this framework. I mean, when I say zero trust, I mean the 5 pillars of zero trust being identity, transport, authorization, gateway, and visibility. So one way of possibly extending the framework would be to integrate zero trust in a much more closer fashion. Because when you look at security as a first class citizen, you can look at it from both top down and bottom up. Top down is more about ensuring that you use all the latest tools, AI, and ensure that your software is super secure and does not have any vulnerabilities. But when you take a bottom up approach, you put in a lot of attention to ensure that the APIs you develop are secure by design.
Sure.
So yeah.
I love it. If I had to ask you to look into your crystal ball and say, all right, swampUP 2026,
Yes.
and I don't know if you saw, but they announced New York, I think, for next year.
That is true. Yes.
Yes.
They had a raffle that helps us to select which location, but then I think it was New York. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you see your framework being a year from now?
Yeah, that's a pretty deep question. I think one, we do want to embed zero trust much more closely, as I just mentioned.
Yes.
Two, we also want to we had benchmarked our framework and architecture with the then available open source AI models. We would probably do another round of benchmarking to see which it works well with. Three, we would also do a lot of like domain specific tuning to it, because I've realized lately that there's a lot of power to small language models as well, because they have a lot more context.
And I think we're going to see more SML
Yes.
over the next year as people realize the LLMs are good, but
Yes.
you need the SMLs for some very specific domain expertise.
Yes. So that's where I see the architecture evolving into. Yes.
Good. You know what we didn't mention?
Yes.
If someone wants to go see this framework for themselves, how did they do that?
Oh, so it's actually, we did have the opportunity to publish this framework in a conference, in an IEEE conference that happened in Indonesia. So the work actually is public. So,
Where can they go?
I mean, if you follow me on LinkedIn, it's or like Google Scholar, it's fairly easy to find.
Is it on GitHub or anything? No.
It's not on GitHub. It's on the IEEE Explore page
Okay.
that people could go and reference. Yes.
Well, now you mentioned your LinkedIn page. How do people follow you on LinkedIn? Is it under Harry or?
That's correct. Yeah. Just my first name and last name. It's easy to find. Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Thank you.
Harry, thank you for coming on TechStrong TV. This wasn't so hard.
Thank you so much. It was a complete pleasure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, we're going to continue our coverage here at JFrog swampUP. Stay tuned. You're watching TechStrong TV.
Thank you.